Swimming pool blue, A4 paper white, toner black, rusty chrome, tarnished gold, hair grey, orange pip white, evergreen, iridescent oil spill, fingernail pink, dark cloud grey, olive black, British racing blue, sky grey, cigarette butt orange, plimsoll brown, methylated spirits purple, banana green, faded day glow, pound coin gold, lagoon blue, eye red, bruise purple, blood brown, Ferrari yellow, fool's gold, bleach yellow, baby dark blue, navy green, Tipex white, olive black, powder navy, royal red, sandy, shocking blue, salmon grey, blueberry green, pale black, frank black, Ariel pink, duck egg, yolk yellow, lavender green, Labrador brown, copper green, double yellow, I like the colour of a washed out Belisha beacon. Sort of yellow, orange, golden yellow, orange. That's been sitting in the sun day after day. So the top becomes kind of bleached in the sunlight. Beautiful. Parking ticket yellow. It's like the sting of a wasp. I like the core of a yellow dusters. The core and the object feel totally connected. And it fits really well with dust. The grey and yellow look brilliant together. And the red trim. Beautiful. It's a nice colour. Saltbox yellow. Turmeric, what a colour that is. That's quite magical yellow. Beautiful. And black pepper activates turmeric, makes you able to get more of the nutrients and the health benefits, the properties from it if you introduce a bit of black pepper. But I think the colour is just absolutely spectacular. I like the colour of indicator lens orange. So cars that have indicators, I think they're beautiful both on and off, and also interesting when the sunlight hits them. And I like the colour of wet cardboard. There's so many Amazon Prime boxes on the street, and when it rains, I think that brown is really intense. It's like very heavy and sludgy. I also like the colour of wee when you've had vitamins. Vitamins pass through our body really quickly. We don't keep hold of the vitamins that we don't need. And so if you have vitamin C tablets, supplements, and then do a wee, you can often smell the vitamins. But I think the colour is really extraordinary. And also a wee when you've had beetroot as well is an interesting colour. Kombucha orange. It's almost like a core of a pale ale or a beer, but it's a home-brewed kombucha. I'm not sure whether the colour is so attractive because the flavour is so good. So does taste affect your perception of the colour? Probably does, because a lot of fruit is coloured in a way to make you be attracted to it. A bit like a butterfly to a flower, or a bee to a flower. But it's a nice cloudy kind of orange colour. It's a nice colour of like an orange from shop windows for Lucozade. They used to cover the shop window in like a translucent orange film, and it's a bit, the Lucozade bottles used to have the same kind of cover on them as well, and that was amazing, kind of translucent orange, like fiery, sparkly orange. Try and find an example. I like the colour of red brick. There's not many red bricks in London. There's a lot of red bricks in Lancashire when I was growing up. I always liked red bricks. I like the colour of red plastic on a Robin Day polypropylene chair where it's been stressed and it turns white. They're like highlights for stress, plastic stress. The colour is bleached out as the plastics moved and strained. Thinking about colour all the time now to make this video, and I can't help but think that colour and form and texture are all connected, and how when you're making things on a computer and you choose a colour, that colour is backlit, it's an RGB colour, even if it's specified as a Pantone or a CMYK. But really it's just flat. There's no texture to it. And that colour is then applied to something. In graphic design, more often it's paper. But I think the colours that I've noticed that I'm drawn towards are where they're somehow linked to the material or the object which they're applied. In fact, they're almost not applied. It's almost like the colour is the object. So if I think of like well, any one of the examples, it feels like the colour and the object are inextricably linked, and that's when it feels the most satisfying. So if I think of like the colour of bubble wrap, which is, bubble wrap is translucent. But the plastic and the translucency all has like comes together. The building fences in the background. I'm walking and thinking, or the core of water, or the core of the sky, or the core of, these are just consequences of the materials. They're not chosen. But then things like the core of a salt box, or the core of pipe lagging, or the core of like glass, not the transparency, but like the glass on its edge, like the green. These are colours which just happen, and I think it's those are the colours which are special because they're inseparable from their application. Like the application is the colour, the texture, the form, everything aligns, and it's like this really satisfying meeting point. That's also a nice colour when the colour of a finger on a camera lens is beautiful. That's my thumb. Okay, another musing on colour. I hope all these edit together and form something entertaining and insightful. Inkjet printout in the rain. Beautiful tide marks and kind of vignettes from magenta to cyan. I like this colour. It's a blue dye that's applied to wood, and I was just chatting to a friend, and he seems to think it's for building inspectors, so they can see that this timber has been treated at a glance. But it has a really beautiful, I don't know, it's applied very quickly, I think, almost like it's been dunked in a vat. But it's like a turquoise, beautiful blue. So it's like a functional way of differentiating this wood from wood which has not been treated. It's a colour that alerts people to that. Also, colour becomes inextricably linked to certain objects, and it's not really embedded in the objects like DNA, but it feels like it is. So like a couple of examples of really nice colours are the very pale blue top of Evian bottles, or the yellow container from a Kinder Surprise egg, or the colour, well the colour of Lucozade. I've already mentioned Lucozade bottles, but I'm thinking more like the old style Lucozade, not the modern one. But back in the day it used to be wrapped in like a cellophane. I think that colour, all three examples are really nice of I don't know, decisions of colour that then feel inseparable, like they just fuse with their application. That's the Evian Cat Blue. It's like baby blue. They also use a pink, it's like boys and girls, but I think the blue is the really iconic. Foam picture frame protectors. These are what I put on the edge of the clip frame paintings that I sell to prevent them from getting damaged. But it's like pipe lagging. But it's always it's a bit shiny, the surface, so it reflects light, and it's like a pale blue. It's nice how it changes depending on how the light is hitting it. There's lots of bubbles, lots of air trapped within it. the colour of the COVID mask blue. It's like a washed out cyan. Both sides are beautiful. It reminds me of like faded denim. Really nice, like subtle colour variations of white and blue. I like the core of those. Duplicate paper blue. It's like the big biro blue. Very satisfying. Slightly different on each side. And then another colour that I really like is sweat. So if you wear a t-shirt and you go for a run, whatever the t-shirt colour, where the sweat is, it goes darker. So like the armpits, there we go. Or the chest, or the back of the neck, or in the neck. I like my favourite is like a grey t-shirt, like a standard grey. And the colour that sweat changed it to. But this is pretty good. It's kind of dark blue that goes even darker. So that colour represents like 6 miles of effort. So there's something satisfying about seeing that colour. I feel proud that I can change the colour of a t-shirt. And the longer I run, the more I change it. Or the hotter the day, the bigger the change. Lawrence Weiner made an artwork where he said the sound of a hammer at night, and I really like that because I can imagine that night is more silent, so the sound of a hammer is amplified, or the impression of it feels louder, but it's no different than the sound of a hammer during the day. And I think colour at night is the same. You know, all the colours remain, but our perception of those colours is transformed. You know, and dark colours are the same. There's something, I don't know. This is a bit ridiculous trying to film outside at night colour. But the colours are there, but the absence of light means that the colour appears black, but there is no black. I like the colour blue from a chalk line. Leaves a really faint kind of pale blue line. It's super accurate, so the string is pulled taut across the material, and then it's just lifted up and pinged, and then it reveals this really nice straight line. Beautiful. And the blue is like a pale kind of like pastel mid blue, almost like sky blue. It's like greener than green. It stains, it's so green. I like the colour of spirulina when it's mixed with banana and avocado and other fruits and vegetables. It's a really good green. Scoura green. Calagas green. Bag green. Colours to remember. I like the green on the edge of glass. You sometimes see it on a shower door if there's no trim, or on a side window of a car. When you wind it down, you see that all the glass compresses to become green. I like grey primer, so it's a colour that goes underneath colour to make a colour true. And I like reflective. The white, it's often got a texture. It's like a hexagonal texture that you see on road signs, but the core of that white is like pearlescent, but not in a kind of tacky way. I like the colour of the Hackney recycling bags, the pale green, and I like how it affects all the other colours of things that are in the bag. Egg box grey. Aloe vera white. I like the white kind of surface to the green that often happens on aloe vera plants. So the green has this kind of, it's difficult to see, but like a thin film of white. Masking tape beige, like vanilla ice cream. There's lots of brands of masking tape, but somehow the core of the actual tape is pretty consistent. It's like this void of emptiness, no soul. It's not as pure as white, it's cream, it's vanilla. But it feels, I don't know, when I see masking tape applied to things, I just feel like, oh no, that's going to be difficult to remove if you leave it for too long. And it ages, it colours, and the glue somehow darkens, becomes brittle. All those qualities somehow connect with its colour. Yeah. Corrugated brown. I think cardboard, always such a good colour. Corrugated brown. White van, white, with road grime and dirt. Comes like a very pale grey. I like the colour of dappled sunlight on concrete slabs or paving stones. Looks like it's black and white texture. But it's the same colour, but just in light and shadow. This is a nice colour. This is like silver with tree mould that's been carefully cleaned with this paper hand tool. I think when you zoom out, the colour of the combined dirt and metallic silver is beautiful. Jam jar lid gold. Plum silver. It's a perfectly ripe, freshly picked plum. And the skin is like a silver, purple, black. Wow. And black bean purple. Core of wet cement before it dries. Dry cement. Wet cement grey. Chocolate brown tastes so good. The colour's good, but the taste of the core is really good. Chocolate brown, 70% chocolate brown. I like the colour of bin bag black. It's quite a weak black. A friend of mine told me about a Swedish painter called Sven Eriksson, who was being interviewed, and they were asked, the interviewer asked the question, "What's your favourite colour?" And Sven said blue. And then the interviewer said, "Why is it blue?" He said red. And that's it. I think it's so brilliant. I'm going to repeat it. So what's your favourite colour? My favourite colour is blue. Why is it blue? Red. It's a bit confusing and it's so simple. But I think the subjectivity of a favourite colour or favourite anything can change at an instant. And sometimes if you ponder and ask the question, then everything changes. I think it happens with taste. It happens with music. When something is your favourite, it's like when you throw a ball in the air, it's going up, 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 and then it momentarily stops and it's totally still before it starts to fall. And I think favourite is like that. So your preference at that exact moment is when the ball finishes rising. So out of all the colours that you've seen that day, at that moment, your favourite is that one. But if you question it, then the ball starts to fall and it unravels and your preference changes. That's my understanding of his remark. But I think it's really nice when in relation to all this thinking about colour and how subjective colour is. My hat is Dago yellow. It's a worker's cap. It's a funny colour to reproduce. It seems, and it's got reflective trim as well. It's also a difficult colour to reproduce. In fact, a nice colour is when you take a picture with flash and there's something reflective, how that bounces the flash back at the camera and bleaches that picture out white. I'll take a picture tonight wearing this hat and it'll be very different to what we see now. Okay, I think that might be my conclusion to this whole kind of exploration of colour. It's been really fun to put together, and I want to thank, let me see who I'm thanking. I've got my computer here. I want to thank Daniel Ocon for combining all these clips. So I've been making these clips over the last 2 weeks, and Daniel put them all together for me and did the sequencing and adjusted the sound levels and made it all happen. So I'm really, thanks very much for that. And I want to thank Luke for the invitation to be part of this project Exploring Colour, or this conference Exploring Colour. Thank you.